Hello and welcome to my heavy metal kitchen. I like to talk about minutia and things that are kind of not the norm. And I started thinking about a song that I like. Back in the day I bought this and I really liked the song Rebel Yell. I had no idea. This is before '86, before I started getting into the music, you know, the heavier music, and when I got MTV. So I heard this on the radio and I thought it was cool. And what really captured me about this was the B-side, which is Crank Call. And I always thought there was something kind of special about Billy Idol, was his guitar player. Steve Stevens was born Stephen Bruce Schneider in New York City. I think he grew up in Brooklyn, and he was a guitar player. I think he started playing at 13. He has a really good video out there called Let My Guitar Do the Talking. He did some other things besides Billy Idol. He did the Top Gun anthem, and he won a Grammy for that, along with the piano player. I can't remember his name right now. And he also was a guitar player in the Dirty Diana video, and I always was wondering how did he get that gig, you know? I always thought of him as kind of as in Billy Idol's shadow, but he was really quite a star himself, and a really good player, in my opinion. And I think it's interesting that there's even a Kiss connection with Steve Stevens, and Billy Coyne helped manage him for a little while. I don't know about you, but I always kind of thought that, I remember seeing the video of Dirty Diana. I thought it was Vinnie Vincent, because look at them. There's a lot of similarities right just in that.
First name.
They had the same boots. They had the same hair, obviously, and definitely not the same guitar. Steve wasn't a big showy player, but he definitely made those songs so interesting, especially White Wedding,
Rebel Yell.
I didn't even realize I only played on 3 strings, 4 string, and I thought that was neat. Really interesting background and flamenco album he has. He was also in the Vince Neil band. He played in the Vince Neil band, and that's how he got that connection to Van Halen, because they opened for Van Halen back in the day, and he was able to meet Ted Templeman and get more exposure as far as the Dirty Diana video and what have you. But definitely a cool player, and seems like a really cool guy. And he did have a solo album, and I wasn't the biggest fan of it. The production didn't sound so great, but I love when he was finished with the Vince Neil band. I think he had gained a lot just from playing with Eddie and being around that scene. Anyway, I like to talk about those kind of things. Oh, another that Steve Stevens had in common with Vinnie Vincent was that they both, their record companies were Chrysalis. So who knows? And that would be a question I would have, is what, did they ever work together? Was there any connection there? So lots of little connection. I thought that was cool, and he sounds like he's still rocking it, so good for him. And I'm looking forward to next week. I'm going to have Rich Fuchsia. He's going to be on with me next time, talking a little bit about Rock Shots. So we're going to talk about his book, and we're going to talk about the DVD, which has some fun stuff on it. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Again, I think this is freaking awesome. Steve really knew how to make those songs, you know, they couldn't be total rock and roll in your face. They had to be very careful the way they were structured to keep it with that pop dance edge. Because Billy Idol to me was always like a pop thing, but But Crank Call, man, what a cool song. I don't know how many people are familiar about it, but I think somehow Billy Idol, even though he started out as punk, he still was in that rock kind of genre. Anyway, next week we'll have Rich, and we'll talk about rock shots and the memories he has, the famous bands he's shot, and what have you. Till then, I wish you a happy new year. Be safe. Stay home if you can. And be nice to people. And, you know, nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes. We try to make the next year a better year. Perhaps we've learned more, and you don't know what somebody's dealing with out there. I try not to be that way about people I talk about. I have respect for all the people that I bring up on this channel. And that's it. I'll see you next time in my heavy metal kitchen. Take care. Bye-bye.